Let's run over to Dollar Tree and grab some placemats. Hey Bestie, it's Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to show you 4 fall DIY decor items using placemats. This placemat is so pretty. I can't wait to use it. I've got a couple of little wooden Dollar Tree boxes and then these beads that are actually square. They were from like the coastal line. I'm going to trace the side shape of each of these boxes and then cut out those pieces so that we can attach them to the sides of the boxes. It's just a way to kind of make these very plain but useful boxes look pretty. And if you find a placemat in a design that goes with your decor, that's even better, obviously. This would also be a really cute gift. You could put things inside of the boxes. First, I'm going to paint the remainder of these boxes in the Nimbus color. It's a very light gray, and I just thought that would be very complementary to the pattern on the placemats. And now they're all painted, and I did 2 coats so that we could get a nice color on there, and we're going to attach these to the side. I tried the hot glue first and it works, but it dries too fast. So you'd have to do it in sections. And that's not as easy to do with a placemat. I mean, you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. So what I would do going forward, I'm just going to use regular glue that I can squeeze out and it doesn't dry quite as fast. So any like tacky glue, whatever you like. And then here we are with the second one. I think this is such a pretty accent. Now I want them to have little legs. So I'm just going to take 4 of these square beads for each of the boxes and we're just going to glue them on. You could paint those if you want. I decided to leave them natural wood. I just thought it looked fine that way. And you don't see them a lot. But anyway, I did put them on, both of them, and that is so cute. Now, if you weren't trying to do something for fall or a specific season, you could just leave them right like this. But because I'm doing some fall DIYs today, we're going to go ahead and fill it up with a little bit of this, I think it's like kind of a shredded paper or something like that, but it's brown, so it looks almost like it's raffia, if you will. And I'm just going to fill those up and trim around the sides so there's no, pieces hanging over. Then I'm going to get some cute little fall flowers, and I'm going to do different colors. I'll do yellow and white in the one box and orange and kind of red or burgundy in the other with some pretty leaves. And that's it. I mean, these are just going to be so adorable. You could set them wherever you want, or like I said, use them as little containers. I could see, throwing jewelry or other little things that you have that you want to set on your desk or anywhere. The bathroom, these would also look really cute in the bathroom. You'll have to let me know what you think. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think this would be such a fun, easy thing to do. Cute placemat, enjoy the little things. We really need to do that. I've also got these little snake toys. They're made out of wood from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take this round. It's actually a frisbee from Dollar Tree, but it's the perfect size to make a circle around just the center portion of this placemat. And I will cut that out, and we're just going to use that part. We can save the rest if we ever need anything. And now if you just take a blade, you can actually cut the little snake's tail and head off. Now, I am not a fan of snakes. In fact, I lose my mind if I see a snake, and I don't even care if it's like 2 inches long. Oh my gosh, my husband will tell you I become absolutely a moron. Anyway, we're going to cut those heads and tails off. That was sort of satisfying. Anyway, I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and hot glue, and we're just going to attach the 2 snakes together and make a circle. Now, it's hard to make a whole perfect circle with these because of the way they bend, but that's okay. I just wanted to frame this cute little enjoy the little things piece from the placemat and make a little wreath out of it. So I just glue it down and make it as close to a circle as I can. I'm okay with things not being perfect all the time. I used to really struggle with that, so I've had to let it go. And I think it's healthier, less stressful. So if anyone else is struggling with that, I can relate and just let it go. You know what? Actually, nobody's perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So then I will just add a hanger to the back with a little piece of rope. We'll just add some hot glue and a couple pieces of masking tape, which is how I usually secure any kind of a rope or twine hanger on the back. Now we're going to embellish it and turn it into a fall piece. Again, if this was for another season, you could add different colored flowers or things. So I'm just going to add some leaves and some little berry picks and just different little baby flowers, and just kind of leave the green behind there, but add the orange and yellow colors over the top, which will really make it feel a lot more, fall, autumn-like. I'm also going to add this beautiful sunflower right to the center of those leaves. I love those flowers so much. And I realized it was covering the words a little, so I just pulled it back down while it was still wet and added some more glue. I didn't want to cover up the words, and you know how that happens. Sometimes you don't realize it till you've already set it down. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and embellish, add whatever kind of things that you like that, make you feel like it's fall. Fall is definitely my favorite season. I like the cooler air. I know summer's beautiful, spring is gorgeous, but I get hot so easily. Is anyone else like that? Post-menopause, maybe? Anyway, I hope you like this one. Let me know what you think. Such a cute farmhouse, kind of a placemat. Now, I don't decorate in Farmhouse anymore, but I knew that I could do something with this. I've also got some Jenga blocks, tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree, and 2 of these little floating shelves from the Dollar Tree. I've used them many times, and I really like them. We're going to take 2 of them, and we're going to place it over the cutlery on the placemat, and then we're going to add Jenga blocks in between. I'm going to figure out how many I need. So there we go. What we're going to do is glue the Jenga blocks together in a row to fill that gap, because the 2 floating shelves just weren't wide enough to get the full cutlery on there. So I'm going to use wood glue on these. You can use wood glue, hot glue, whatever you want, but because this is going to be kind of supporting this sign, I needed it to be a really strong hold, and wood glue is ultimately the best. Now on the back, I'm going to go over each of the seams with some hot glue just for extra hold. Then I'm going to use hot glue to hold these together. So I'm going to put it on the one edge of the floating shelf. I turned it over upside down, if you noticed. I'm going to do that to the other side. Now I'm also going to reinforce those seams on the back as well. And it ended up being extremely sturdy. So this is just going to be hanging up. There's not going to be any weight on it, although you could turn it into something like that. So now that I've got those in there, I'm going to add some rope for a hanger. I'm just going to add hot glue and some masking tape like I always do. And now we've got a really good base for what we're going to create just as a really pretty kitchen type of a sign. Now you could also have this leaning up against like a shelf. So I'm going to take an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to cut around the knife, spoon, and fork, and just very carefully go very slow. And the best thing I've noticed, and I started doing this off camera, was turning my mat as I went instead of me trying to turn my hand around it. So just like right here, if I was turning, see how I just turned the mat? It goes so much better when you do that. Anyway, we've got the knife out, and then I'm going to just go ahead and do the spoon and the fork off camera. And we're going to attach them to this cute little base that we created. I'm just going to use some tacky glue for this. You could use hot glue if you want, but because it takes a little while to apply it, I was afraid it would dry first before I could get to it. So I'm just going to turn this over. The tacky glue does dry faster than regular glue, by the way, so that's kind of nice. You can still reposition it, but it dries quickly. So there they are. And if you want to leave it just like that, again, for not seasonal, but for fall, I'm going to add some pretty leaves and some cute little fall flowers on each corner on the bottom there. And there was one orange flower, and I decided to add some little teeny other flowers that had a little bit of like a burgundy at the tip of them, just for a little more dimension. And I absolutely love how this turned out. You'll have to let me know what you think. You could decorate this for any season. I do agree with this statement that coffee makes everything better. Isn't that a cute placemat? And then I've got this gold frame from the Dollar Tree. But I will tell you, I've had to switch to tea for my everyday morning drink because coffee just doesn't like me. Anyway, I love it. It's an unrequited relationship. I drink it just once in a while now. Anyway, we're going to take the inside or the backing of the frame, and we're going to cover up the part of the placemat that we want to use, and I'm just going to trace around that. And then we will cut that out. And I'm using a very thin tip marker for this so I can see the lines. And don't worry, you won't see them anyway because there's a little piece inside the frame that kind of hangs over the edge there. So even if you cut and you can still see that pen, you won't see it. So we'll just go ahead and get that picture cut out. This is such an easy one, by the way. If you ever find a placemat that has just a perfect design to frame, well then, my gosh, why not? It's so fun and easy, and it looks so professional. So it looks like you bought it that way. Anyway, we'll get this thing cut out pretty quickly here, and then we're just going to turn around and put it right back in the frame. Like I said, this one's very easy. I'm not going to embellish this one. It's already got fall colors, so I feel like it already will go with everything at my coffee bar. So we'll just take out the backing and the paper. I noticed the frame was a little dusty. We'll clean that up in a second. It was only on the front. And we'll just trim it up, make sure that it fits perfectly, which it was just hanging over a tiny, tiny bit. And there we go. I'm just going to put all the pieces back, add the backing, push down the little prongs, and voila, we have a cute little coffee bar sign that you can use any time of year. But for me, this is just going to be for the fall. And now I'm going to clean off the frame and the glass because, like I said, it had been sitting in my stash for a while. And, somehow, I don't know how dust gets in my little cubbies, but it does. So I like to clean things off. Anyway, that was all there was. How easy is that? And it looks adorable on my coffee bar. Let me know what you think. Are you ready for more inspiration? I've got another video here I think you will really like. Click on it. I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye.